This is everything you need to make the cake.
The cake is the world's ultimate best chocolate flourless mousse cake. You need 7 eggs. That will be 5 egg whites and 7 egg yolks. Use a stick and a half of butter, or 12 tablespoons. You use a tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, which is a pinch, 2 8-ounce packages of Hershey's Special Dark Chocolate, spray of a Crisco Pillsbury flour for the 9-inch springform pan. Then you use 1 5/8 cups of white granulated sugar, that's 325 grams, 3 tablespoons of Dutch processed cocoa, and a whip, mixer, springform pan that is wrapped in aluminum foil because you're going to cook it in a water bath.
And a toothpick to test to see when the cake is done.
Preheat your oven to 300 degrees and prepare a water bath. You put some water in a tray. You're going to place your 9-inch springform pan in this bath when you cook your chocolate mousse cake. Take your 1½ sticks of butter and your chocolate, break the chocolate up, 2 packages worth. And you place it in your microwave on high for 80 seconds, or 1 minute and 20 seconds. Take an egg, you crack it, and you can separate out the white from the yolk. And you need to do that 5 times. I'm doing 2 for an example. You split it, save the yolk on one side, let the white pour out.
Remember, 5 egg whites and 7 egg yolks. The other whites have to go in the garbage or sink.
I am now stirring the chocolate and butter together, and you want to do that until it becomes a thickened paste. This might take a few minutes depending on the temperature of your microwave, but you can see it is blending together eventually, and then we will add our other ingredients to this to make a paste. Now we're adding 1 tablespoon of vanilla plus 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I've already added the vanilla. I've added a pinch of salt, or 1/8 teaspoon. Now I'm adding 7 egg yolks, and I'm stirring the whole mixture together. Mix it up very well. And so in this we have 7 egg yolks, 2 bars of chocolate. We're adding your 3 tablespoons of cocoa. We've added the salt and vanilla. And we have a stick and a half of butter, unsalted butter, by the way. You don't want any extra salt. And I'm stirring this all up until it's well mixed together. And then we're going to blend it with the egg whites in a minute and the sugar. You can see it mixes very nicely together. Get it well, thoroughly mixed. Now you take your springform pan. Use this spray to coat the bottom. You want to coat the sides. Now this works better than a butter. And then I have 2 sheets of aluminum foil I'm using to keep it so it'll be absolutely waterproof when we cook it in our water bath. And just fold this up tight against the edge of the pan. And basically this is ready to go in the oven and in the water bath. Now we're going to start mixing our egg whites. Once they get to a foamy consistency. You'll see a lot of white, and you very slowly add the sugar in, a little bit at a time. Let the egg whites mix for a little bit first. Now you add the sugar very slowly, a little at a time. You mix to a soft peak stage. You'll see now it's too runny. You see it's white, but it's still not forming any peaks, so we keep mixing it.
And this is after you add all of the sugar.
Okay, it's still not quite ready. You can see it's white, but it's still pretty liquidy. Doesn't really stick to your whipper.
You will see once it has reached the soft peak stage.
Now it's almost there. It's a little bit adherent to the whip, but it still runs off a little too much. A little bit more will do it. Now this is a soft peak stage. It's very glossy. Peaks fall over. This is the perfect consistency to mix. It's not so stiff. If you overmix it, you have to throw it out. This is what you want. High gloss and a soft peak here. Now I'm adding the chocolate. I add a little bit at a time, and I carefully stir it in. I'm not being very aggressive with it. Very lightly stir it. I'm going to get all the chocolate out of this pan here. You want to get it all, of course, and then you're going to fold it in. You're not going to whip it or anything. You just want to fold it so you don't lose the air you just put in the egg whites. So I'm going to turn it and fold it. You'll see it's going to eventually mix together. You work your way around the sides. You scoop it, and you want to blend it together. You can see now it's got a variegated look, but we're going to keep going until it's one solid chocolate mix. Okay, we have it well mixed. Nice color. We're just going to pour it into our prepared pan. That's the one we sprayed with the Crisco shortening. And again, we're just going to get it all out of this pan as much as possible and pour it in. And then we'll put it in the oven. Now we'll place our pan in the oven, in the water bath, carefully set it in, close the door. Our ovens, we have to cook it 1.5 hours to 1 hour and 45 minutes. You want to cook it at a low temperature. Your ovens might vary. It might be done in 1 hour. It might be done quicker than 1 hour. You just have to check it till a toothpick only has a few crumbs attached. You let it cook at a low temperature. Our ovens really run about 250 to 275, and we'll just give it about 1 hour and 45 minutes in my oven. Again, yours could be less.
Should we set it to intensive baking?
No, only bottom heating.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to check the cake. You'll notice the cake is puffy. It's risen above the edge of the pan here. You take your wooden toothpick, you stick it in, you pull it out. You see a few crumbs. This is a little bit moist. I'd give it another 5 minutes or so. Stick it back in. Okay, we are now checking our chocolate cake for doneness. Pull it out, jiggles just a little bit. Stick our little stick in there. There's a few moist crumbs attached. Basically, I feel it's done enough. We're going to carefully take it out of the oven. You'll notice it is nice and puffy. It's risen above the pan. Now as this cools, it's going to settle. It's going to lose about half its volume. We've made this recipe now over 200 times. This is absolutely the best chocolate cake you're ever going to eat. There's nothing to compare to it. It's made with simple ingredients. You must follow everything exactly to have it work properly. You'll watch as this settles. It's rather mousse-like. It will get denser. You let it cool on the counter about half an hour to 45 minutes, and then you freeze it till firm. And you want to cut it when it's frozen. You let it sit 5 to 10 minutes out on the counter before you taste it. Again, there's nothing like this cake. Highly recommended. Enjoy.
Created by Kenneth Levy and filmed by me, Jeremy.